Browns beefed up the defensive tackle spot. Still not the depth that they would like. Kevin Stefanski talked about what Dalvin Tomlinson brings to the team.
He's a pro, really fits in well with our guys, very, very conscientious person, very intelligent, likes to work. So you watch him in his individual drills and out here in practice, he doesn't shy away from the work at all. So I just think he fits right into who we are.
How important do you think that veteran presence is at that spot for you?
Yeah, I think veteran presence is important really at every spot if you can get it. Defensively, up front, have some younger guys, have some older guys certainly in that group, but having a guy that's been through some battles, so to speak, I think is great.
And Tyler, that was because the defensive tackle spot last year was so young, and it just didn't get it done the way it needed to be done.
Yeah, and that's why, I have to wonder if the Browns are going to explore adding another defensive tackle. When you had Perrion Winfrey, I still thought we needed to add another a veteran D tackle. But now that Perrion Winfrey is no longer on the roster, you're down to Maurice Hurst and Tristan Hill, and you do need to see what you have in those players and see maybe if you can find a diamond in the rough there for cheap, which they've explored doing clearly. But outside of that, you have Dalvin Tomlinson, Jordan Elliott. So far in his time in Cleveland, we really haven't seen much from him. Tommy Togiai is another guy that continuously we haven't seen much from. There are still veteran D tackles that are available. You have Shelby Harris. He's 31 years old. Michael Brockers. Akeem Hicks is a name that's interesting because the Browns had some interest in him last year. He's always battled some injuries, but when he was with the Bears, he was one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL. So if you can get him maybe on a one-year deal, you could look at that. Ndamukong Suh. There are guys available that the Browns could look at. They also could wait until cutdown day, much like if they had to add a wide receiver or another position. There's talent there that they can add. I just feel more comfortable if you have another veteran presence there. I know Zadarius Smith is going to play more inside. I know Myles Garrett from time to time will. Alex Wright, I think, is going to play more snaps inside this year than outside. So, again, you're going to have versatility with some of the players you have. But at the same time, outside Dalvin Tomlinson, if he goes down, we're in the same position we were last year. And you could make the case now without Perrion Winfrey, we're in a much worse spot last year. Because even though Perrion Winfrey didn't play great, he still ended up playing a decent amount of snaps towards the end of the year. So if you hope Dalvin Tomlinson doesn't get injured, but if he does and you don't add another veteran defensive tackle, you're right back where you were last year.
Yeah, and the one thing, the reason to wait is you've got to find some young guys that you can develop, and in theory, more of the younger guys will be available on cutdown day. So you might even see where you sign a veteran and then you wait and see if a younger guy becomes available as well, so you can kind of develop that next guy so you don't have to keep going back to free agency.